$1 back with my Survivor Series review series, starting with 1990. And this is a significant show for somebody debuting, and another one with the gobbledygook, which we're not going to talk about that. So, yeah. Spoiler, Roman Reigns won the main event. Spoiler, if you did not see it already. So, yeah. Anyways, we're not talking about Crown shit. I'm not reviewing Crown shit. Like I mentioned before, it's a Saudi Arabia event. Anyways, and then later I'll do my wrestling dumpster fires with, when a bit turn into Joseph Park. Probably, yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'll save that for tomorrow, perhaps. I'll save it for tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow, okay? And the next video will be, I got the They Live movies with Roddy Piper in it, so I'll do that also. So anyways, let's talk about this show. Anyways. Anyways, November 22nd at the Hartford Civic Center in Hartford, Connecticut. This was a significant show for a debut of one person. One current Hall of Famer now. We'll get to that. And this was built around the grand finale Survivor Series match, which is the only time they've done this. It was interesting. So anyways, let's get on to it. We start out with the Warriors, which were the Ultimate Warrior, the Road Warriors, and the Texas Tornado. Yeah. That's actually a pretty stacked team right there. Defeats the perfect team of Mr. Perfect and all three members of Demolition. So, yeah. Ultimate Warrior was the sole survivor in this match, and the order of eliminations, let's get on to it. Ash was eliminated by the Ultimate Warrior, and then the rest of Demolition Road Warriors were eliminated each other by DQ. Then the Texas Tornado, who was Kerry Von Erich, I believe, was eliminated by Mr. Perfect, and then came down to Ultimate Warrior and Mr. Perfect, and it came down, and Ultimate Warrior was the sole survivor, like I mentioned. Yeah. I get a 6 out of 10. It was okay. Okay, then we get the bigger matchup for this big debut matchup. It's the $1 Million Team of, well, I'll save the last person for last. It was Ted DiBiase and Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine. And then Ted DiBiase introduced, and he says, "From Death Valley, I bring you The Undertaker." This was the show where The Undertaker made his debut for the WWF. A lengthy year career for The Undertaker. You know, fall year out, which we'll talk about Survivor Series 1990, which I heard was shit. Had Undertaker won. That was the fall year, he wins the WWF Championship at the exact same event. So, yeah. They defeat the Dream Team of Dusty Rhodes, Coco Beware, Bret Hart, and Jim Neidhart. And now, let's get to the eliminations in this match. Anyways, Coco Beware was eliminated by was eliminated by The Undertaker. He was the first victim of the Tombstone Pile Driver. And then Honky Tonk Man was eliminated by Jim Neidhart, and Jim Neidhart was eliminated by Ted DiBiase, and then Dusty Rhodes was eliminated by The Undertaker, and then The Undertaker randomly got himself counted out. Well, it was a way to protect him, perhaps, because he's new. You don't have him lose in his first match, his first night. Then Greg Valentine was eliminated by Bret Hart, and then it came out to be Ted DiBiase and Bret Hart, and Ted DiBiase was the sole survivor in this match, so he joins Ultimate Warrior in the grand finale match. For the significance of The Undertaker's debut, this was the best Survivor Series match of the night, an 8. For The Undertaker's debut, got that high up for an 8. Speaking of something interesting, we got the Visionaries. This was what they were called in weird names. Like in 1994, which was when they were called Razor Ramon's team was called the Bad Guys, and yeah, that's basically it. And then, like I mentioned, in 1995, you know, with the Dark Side, which is basically Undertaker's BSK group. Anyways, Rick Martel, the Warlord, Hercules, and Paul Roma defeats the Vipers. Speaking of Viper, that's the future nickname for Randy Orton. Of Jake Roberts, Jimmy Snuka, Shawn Michaels, and Marty Jannetty. All four visitors were clean swept the Vipers. Yeah. I give it a 5 actually, a 5. The other match is that's one. And speaking of interesting teams, the Hulkamaniacs of Hulk Hogan. We get another Survivor Series match, by the way. The Hulkamaniacs of Hulk Hogan, Jim Duggan, Big Boss Man, and Tugboat, Hogan's buddies, basically. They defeat the natural disasters of Earthquake, Haku, Ming, basically, from WCW. Dino Bravo, never remember him. And the Barbarian. Yeah, this was actually interesting. So yeah, order of eliminations. Haku was eliminated by a Boss Man, and Jim Duggan got himself disqualified. Bravo was eliminated by Hogan. Big Boss Man was eliminated by Earthquake, and then the future natural disasters team of Tugboat and Earthquake got eliminated by each other by countout. And it came down between Hogan and Barbarian. Jeez, I wonder who's going to win this. Yes, Hulk Hogan. It was okay of a Survivor Series match. I get another 5. Hogan was the sole survivor, and I wonder who's going to win that match. And then we get this shitty match, the worst on the night. The Alliance. No, it's not that 2001 group of WCW and ECW superstars. Nikolai Volkov, Tito Santana, and the Bushwhackers defeats the Mercenaries. Wait, what was that said? The Mercenaries? Yeah. Sergeant Slaughter, Borsukov, Seto, and Tanaka. I can't pronounce the teams. This was Slaughter's random heel turn. He won the WWF title, my bad. But he cut this awful promo. This match sucked. I get a 3. Tito Santana was the sole survivor. Yes, you heard that correctly. So now we get the grand finale Survivor Series match. I already mentioned the Gobbledygooker thing, which we're not going to talk about. Fun story. Undertaker was like hoping he was not going to beat the Gobbledygooker, but then Vince McMahon says, "Is this the Undertaker?" And Undertaker was, I think, was a few docs out, like the NE one and another one, I believe. But yeah, Undertaker was thinking he was not going to beat the Gobbledygooker. Thank God. Or Mark Calloway, that is. But he becomes the Undertaker, so that's his successful gimmick. But anyways, we get the main event, the 3-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, and Tito Santana defeats Ted DiBiase, Rick Martel, the Warlord, Hercules, and Paul Roma. Jeez, I wonder who's going to go over. But anyways, so the order of eliminations, the Warlord was eliminated by Tito Santana, and then immediately he gets eliminated by Ted DiBiase. And then Paul Roma was eliminated by Hogan, and Rick Martel got himself counted out. Ted DiBiase was eliminated by Hulk Hogan, my bad. And Hercules was eliminated by the Ultimate Warrior. Hogan eliminated 3 out of the 5 guys, and Ultimate Warrior was Hogan and Warrior were the survivors. This was a mass handicap Survivor Series match. But it was okay. I give it a 6.5. It was better than the first Survivor Series match, but yeah. So there's that. It was a decent show. For the statistics for the Undertaker's debut, I'm giving it a 7, basically, a 7 out of 10 for this show. Mainly because the Undertaker made his debut on this show. And what a career he had for 30 years. You know, going for different gimmicks, you know, from, here, which was to being, the Lord of Darkness, and then the Ministry of Darkness, and then, the American Badass, Big Evil, Now he's a WWE Hall of Famer, which deservedly so for him. So anyways, next up is 1991. Oh God, that show. Which had Undertaker won the WWF Championship on that show. And then after that, 2012, where the Shield make their debut. Yeah, 2 cardboard cutouts of Seth and Roman. And 2017 will be the last one, and then do my Survivor Series for that. So anyways. And then tomorrow I'll do my Wrestling Dumpster Fires, and I'll do my They Live Roddy Piper with Roddy Piper in it. So anyways, like this video, comment down below. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and bye.